Okay. Um, First of all, I just want to say thank you, God. Uh, Thank you, God, because as bad as things are going to be and as bad as they are right now, I'm just thankful. I'm just thankful that I get to see things for what they are. As much as my brain just rewired, manipulated, and it create this fantasy of reality, and they have this ability to just counter reality. And when I hear them just say things to box in this fantasy of what they want things to be, when the reality of what they're part of is just some of the most disgusting, gruesome, grotesque things you can imagine. There's a kind of people that deserve a different type of hell for just being involved in what they involved in. And the humiliating reality is is what they have to try to counter every day. And I have to be thankful to God because every day when I can, I will bring back things to the perspective that needs to be brought up. Because what they have on their hands, what is attached to them at this point for life, is something that is just disgusting. And it doesn't take much to be attached to what they're attached to. I mean, children at this point can be attached to it. So they chose a very foul life, a very disturbing life for as an easy way. I love when they try to counter reality and project reality. For example, I just heard somebody say abuse. Their point is to try to make me think of me as a kid, and they want me to forget about the torture of children that we know they do, or we know this program does to women, to children. I mean, sexual torturing children, 3-week-old baby tortured. You understand? This man saying that knows that, know that very well. And he thinks that I'm going to forget that they do that. And he's saying whatever he can via V2K, voice to skull is a way to counter. Voice to skull is a way to pipe in voices in your head. He's saying that to try to make me not think about how he's involved in a program that literally sexually torture, and to make me think sexually torture children. Sexually torture. Let me repeat that. They sexually torture. He's involved in a program where sexual torture. You understand what I'm just saying? Where they torture children sexually. Do you understand the gravity of what I just said? He's involved in some program where torture of children as young as 3 years old. 3-year-old kids have been targeted in a sexual way. And to try to make me forget that, what he's saying is, now you pay for what you did as a kid. Because he wants to get away from the fact that they torture children sexually in the whatever program he's involved in today. You understand what he deserves? To even try to counter the reality that this is happening, to try to block that out, that his task right now is to interrupt me from saying these disgusting things that they do to children. They thought I was going to let them live the fantasy. The reality has been just too embarrassing, and at this point, I'm done trying to. It wasn't even trying. It's over. It's just overwhelming. Because what these people deserve to pay for, my friend, is not even something that this earth can offer them. This needs to be some kind of ultra magical, spiritual level of reimbursement. I cannot, if I saw this person, even if I was that kind of person who was capable of doing harmful things, burning this person, cutting him up, it's not even on this. This is not something that's not to that level. It's not something that can make justice for what he's involved in. It needs to be something way better, bigger than that. And he knows that. And he's like, nah, you shut the fuck up, you fucking lowlife, you trash ass for involving yourself in this program. You damn piece of lowlife trying to do everything possible to make me think that you guys are not here involved in this program. You know what you deserve to be involved in this. You know I see you for what you are, you fucking lowlife. Kids, you know what you wanted to enjoy this thing that filled this void that you have. And be involved in a program that tortures it, yes. You are a piece of trash. You know why triggered this? You know, they love to use other people's life. These people, one thing they have the ability to do is to disconnect with reality, and they can take other people's reality. You know what I did as a child, unfortunately for them, has been documented. Actually, I had an article. It was on I think the Washington Post, and they talk about how children have this thing where they can do when they're kids. It's inappropriate. They should consider that being inappropriate, but at that age, it is common to see kids doing certain things that is inappropriate. A lot of those kids do things the one time and never do it again. It's because as a child, you're mentally are to the level of understanding their boundaries, the boundaries, and understanding what you do, what you're supposed to do, not do. So an impulsive child can do that. It's well written. There's a whole article about it too. Of course, you don't need to have an article to understand that. This is reality. Children's brain is not the same level of capacity of an adult. The impulsiveness of a child should not be equated to the brain of an adult. What I'm saying does make me sound like a wise man, but it's very common. This trash wanted to make me think that what I did, I'm going to pay for what I did as a child, and having to exaggerate that. Because what I did as a child, as inappropriate as it was, will never be what they wish it was. They wish I molested a child. They wish I did other things. They even, so they kind of minimize, they try to lower the extremeness from raping a child to, and you hear the noise campaign, that's why they try to box in the fantasy, to using a hand, what they try to, and we're talking about me as a kid at that age, right? So you hear this purpose, you hear the noise campaign, this perp making this noise campaign that you heard is involved in a program that tortured children, and she knows I know that, right? And she's trying to be like, nah, her hand, you use her hand. I'm talking about age, and I'm glad that you hear that. I'm talking about the age of this kid. Now, you heard this person making those campaign. Do you know what she's involved in? Do you know what the kind of nastiness they do to children? This person who wants to make noise campaign and just her hands, try to exaggerate what it did as a kid at that age. You know what she's involved in? She's involved in a program that does this to children.
I am currently a speech-language pathologist working in private practice with young children. I had a 7-year-old client who has autism, and she was the most significantly affected of all of my clients. I eventually had to tell this client to go to another clinic, and they used her to threaten the most torture methods are cyclical in severity. Right after I saw this child being suffocated, then I began to experience very extreme suffocation all day, every day.
She's talking about a 7-year-old child with autism being suffocated. This technology has the ability to restrict your lungs. This person who just made the noise campaign is involved in that. She made that noise campaign to try to box in this fantasy of reality they wanted to box in while involved in this.
For about 2 months straight, and that's also when they made it worse when I eat. Then I also work with a 4-year-old little girl with Down syndrome, as well as her 5-year-old sister who also has Down syndrome.
Let me repeat. She mentioned 4-year-old with Down syndrome and 5-year-old with Down syndrome. Listen to what kind of torture they have applied onto these kids.
I observed both of these girls suddenly grabbing their genitals in pain and verbalizing, ow.
You can understand the audacity of somebody involved in this program, making noise campaign of that nature to try to interrupt me and try to box in this reality they put together. I hope this camera captured this, but involved in this, that does these things to children. She's involved in a program that does this to children. Do you understand the level of disconnect from reality they have? Do you understand what these kind of people deserve? Me doing whatever, cutting them in pieces, burning, this is not even what they deserve. It's something else. They're a nasty low life. So try to exaggerate. Let me repeat this. Try to exaggerate. What a child at that age did. And try to exaggerate to the point like you use your hand or you hit. It's nasty ass low life. You're involved in a program that actually torture children the way you just heard. Now you try to exaggerate. And by the way, this article now is no longer on my phone. I think my phone had something happened to my phone where all my history video were erased. But now they try to make me think, no, you never saw this. Can you imagine? Like that's how they reconstruct your reality. Reality is something they can just repaint. I was like, no, okay, yes, I never saw that. This is, matter of fact, I even purchased. I got this Chicago Tribune app because of it. Because I wanted to see this article, so I have on my phone the Chicago Tribune. For no reason, I don't read the Chicago Tribune, but because Chicago Tribune reposted this Washington Post article, I ended up purchasing I purchased it for $1, so I have like a monthly payment of $1. And now that it's no longer, that's like, no, you never seen it. Because this article literally, it's just crazy. It literally say, and these people were living on this like fantasy of reality. That's retarded. It's like, now you pay for it. And this article said, no, kids at that age, it's typical to see that. Matter of fact, kids can do something like that and never do it again. This is very common. Literally is the thing I said before. And I guess that they need to stay in character. So no pay. And the thing is, what I did as a child, according to this article, you know, they wanted to be like, you sexually abused or they like, the articles mentioned like, unless there's like physical contact, it's not, you know, it's not considered abuse or sexual abuse or something like that. And so that now you use it. And this article literally say, kids, because of the impulsiveness of the kid, they don't know any better. They can do something like that, and you know, you should understand that they are children. That's the mentality. Literally, say breaking it down in a way that just kind of makes sense. But it's obvious things. They don't say magical things. While they involved in a program that does these things, and want me to, now you're gonna pay now. Pay in trash as you just created this fantasy. The truth is, they know the reality. Of course, I know that they know better. They have kids. You know, not all of these people are just as idiotic as they appear to be. They understand children have that mental capacity of a child. A child like that can do something and never do it again, as this article said. And it's just so embarrassing because these people now rely on this, like, now we're making your brain like your brain when you're a kid. And this person, this article on Washington Post, whatever it was, this like known media outlet, so they just say, oh, you should never compare the brain of a child to a brain of an adult. Duh. It's like, oh, no. We proved that. Let's trash us. You understand the embarrassment these people live off? Of course they're going to get theirs. While they're involved in a program that literally torture children. And by the way, what triggered them to try to bring this up is because some of these things the kids do are more extreme than others. There's a level of extremities. And they try to make me think of a woman and a comedian where her brother was doing things to her for years, molesting her, doing things to her, and they try to make me imagine me doing that. And try to create her story to be the story of mine. When my thing, well, what I did as a child is something that's impossible, just moment that never happened again. You understand? The reality is just, they don't live on reality. They live on what they can make you imagine. And they're like, no, pay. Try to make me imagine this person's actions onto me. To try to make me imagine what this kid did as if that's what I did. These people live off reality, but that's what they have to do because they're actually involved in a program that tortures children. They are involved in a program that torture children. They are mean to children in this fashion. And they don't live in reality because reality makes them see themselves where they are. They chose a very easy thing to do. They're going to pay for it one way or another. Today's not the day. Everything has its day. The way they need to be reimbursed is not something that I can do. And even burning them is not enough. Castrating them is not enough. Raping them is not enough. Or none of that things is not what they deserve. Is what something else can provide, not me. So I'd rather go through these horrible things, and they try to project that onto me. So it's like, now you're gonna burn. It's like, I'll jump in fire. I will literally jump in the fire. If you turn on the fire, I'll run into that fire just because I want you to never live that fantasy. You're a piece of shit. You gave me so much dignity that I'm willing to burn myself. They ever let you live a fantasy that you are here protecting children involved in this, and talk about me as a child and try to even exaggerate to compare to try to make somebody else's story into mine, because what I did as a kid was such an impulsive childlike moment that you try to even exaggerate. Now you are here trying to find ways to, okay, that's too much. Okay, oh, use her hand. Trash, you lying ass shit. But you burn these kids' heads, by the way. Using this technology, you restrict these kids' lungs. And I will never look at you as somebody who's out here avenging piece of shit. Look at the extent of reality you have to escape from. But I don't know what this is really about. This perps, obviously, their job is to try to counter reality. To create a facade of reality. The reality of what they're involved in is they use human subjects as test subjects. That's why these children are being tortured this way. They use this trash with the almost chip on the shoulder. The voids, they fill this void of feeling like empowered. Creating this fantasy what this is about, where this this is a woman. Now this is a government-led program that is using human subjects, inclusive of children, of babies too, to develop these weapons. It's been ongoing for years and decades. It's going to continue. Men, women, and children all around the world will be utilized as test subjects, as guinea pigs, to continue to develop these weapons. You lowlife are trying to paint this fantasy of what this is really about. You nasty lowlife. But for me, I will never let these people live this fantasy. I heard this trash say, "Oh, train him. They're gonna train you." So talk about how they're gonna, I've provoked them because reality being brought to their face. Where to the point where they try to even make me think, "Oh, this article never existed." Can you imagine? Try to make me feel like, no, this person, they never, like, you understand how reality is for you? You see how sad it is? Yes, never existed. I just made that up. It's your world. You're protecting women and children. Trash. You're right. You're winners. You protect kids. Top tier protectors of kids. You know what? The story of this woman, it's me. It's my story. I'm that woman's brother. Yes, it's me. Delusional trash. Yes, you're going to set up. Yes, you're going to do all the foul shit because you're a trash human being involved in a program that torture children. That come up with storylines that have nothing to do with me and try to implant that storyline into me. Your reality is diluted. Yes, that's your job. Some of these people are perfect for it because they don't want to live in reality. It's an escapism. It's a void that they can fill with some fantasies. I would die in hell every day. I'm so thankful that I didn't choose this easy route, or I didn't even get this option to get involve myself in something so easy to involve in. Where, matter of fact, I have to just come out with stories and just look what kind of life is. Where you just completely creating fantasy and I never happened, and then when things happen to them, they're like, look at you. How deluded could you be? Make yourself create these storylines. I pull up a testimony of a child being sexually tortured now, and you're involved in that program. You are here trying to you use her, try to create the exaggeration, and then try to make me feel guilty for what somebody did to somebody else. And using whatever this person did and try to implant that. It's like, you think I'm going to feel good? I feel bad for what happened to this woman. But it has nothing to do with me. Now, what I did as a child, of course, I know how stupid it is, impossible it is. It will never be to that level. That's why you are here trying to come up with some fucking fantasies. While you're involved in a program that torture children, target individuals, they have this ability to rewire reality. And that, no, we watch, because they try to stop it now, no, we watch, wanting to box in and make me feel guilty on what this man did to his sister when he was a kid. Because they want me to have to have done the same thing. Life is not, they don't live reality. But that's their job. Reality is going to come to them. Everything has its time. You can escape reality for a time period, but the time is going to come. You heard what they do to children. Matter of fact, here, they're involved in this too.
Nestor, and I'm from Pennsylvania. This commission has spoken of a long history of abuse of the human research subject. Although no one mentioned MK Ultra today, President Clinton recently apologized for this. My young child and I have been used as non-consensual test subjects. We have been subjected to COINTELPRO-like stalking, remote neural monitoring, and electromagnetic torture, resulting in psychological and physical damage. And I won't go into the details of that because I have 4 pages written in here that is very similar to Connie's testimony. Please do not wait 70 years to investigate this. I asked Dr. Amy Gutman to begin today. There is new work for the commission.
That's what they're involved in. That's their bad. You understand? Seeing them for what they're really involved in, and they try to come up with this fantasy. That's why some target individuals lost their mind to the point of killing. Can you imagine people like, nah, they're involved in this? I know for sure that there's nothing I can do that can reimburse what they're involved in. It's nothing that I can do. It's not for me to do anything. These cowards in low life. You know, I was saying that this perp was telling me how I'm going to be trained and do. I was like, yes, I'm going to go through horrible things. Do you understand being provoked by, they're provoked by me bringing up the reality of what they're involved in? These people who can come up with a reality that's so falsified that you're like, wow, good for you. Like to the point where even you never even seen that side. I was like, okay, yes, I never. And you bring a mirror to their face. These people have come up with this fantasy somehow, something fun to tell with there, with some meaning. You know how humiliating is really what they truly are part of, and how they've even not even me, for some reason they've been restricted to say Roy Moore. Can you imagine that I'm some thought that I get paid, say Roy Moore, Brad Moore? What happened to the fierceness? What happened to it? Why would this man that people even laugh about? You have to say it in ways that is like, and they try to still sound fierce when they try to say it. They say in a way that it's not hard, it's not easy to hear. So really, say Roy Moore real quick. Come on, go ahead. It's your world. It's so sad. Now for me, what I use as a way to bring back to reality, because they can be all kind of clown, or they can speak and they can make you believe that the grandeur of what they've created themselves, when the truth is just involved in this program run by these governmental entities. But these purposes are the nothings. That's why when Roy Moore is said, it could be said in ways that is so hard to hear. It's like, wow, the timid, he's so coy when you say his name, or you're saying it in ways that's just so hard to kind of capture. That brings me back to seeing them for what they are. And they say Roma. I was like, what? Wait. Can you say that again? Quietness. And this name has become this mysticful name that can be said in very special ways. And they try to make it seem like, no, we can say it all the time. And then when I'm speaking with Romo, I say, oh. So for me, I'm looking at it, it's like, thank you. Thank you, God, for this. It's fair to me. It's a way for me to gauge them back to reality. Then they tell me how nothing I am. Me who can say Roy Moore clearly, and then Roy Moore? Yeah, I'm the nothing. You see how things put things in perspective? Me, the nothing, can openly, I'm hearing to see if they're going to say Roy Moore. Say Roy Moore. They can't. And by the way, they use V2K. So in the interaction are via V2K. And even there, the way they are just limited to say this person's name is crazy. A man was allegedly picking up kids as young as 14 years old when he was 35 years old. That just put things in perspective. Now they tell me I'm going to be trained, we're going to frame you. This is like, yes. Say Roy Moore then. You're being trained to not say Roy Moore unless you say it in a very special way. You see how you train? How I'm going to be trained? You're being trained to say a name of this man in ways that I can clearly hear it. Even though you try to sound it like you say in a like openly way, but you're saying it in a way that I can hear it. But still showing that you can't say it in a way that I can hear. A man who allegedly pick up kids. My point is, you are being trained to respect these pedophiles and know when to say these things. Better not say his name clearly. Better time it right. You better not say it when he hears it. Yeah, that man who picked up the 14-year-old kids who was banned for the YMCA when he was 35-year-old assistant, he better say his name in a very careful way. As long as you say it in a careful way, use your tone however you want it. Trained properly. Know your freaking spot. You know you're just a bottom feeder. These pedophiles run you. You work for us. You're going to make people have this reaction. You are a bottom feeder for these pedos. Yeah, 19th out of 2,900. You can say that. Yes, say that all the time. But better not say... So whatever I'm going to go through, God give me strength. Because I humiliate them with reality. These people torturing children, torturing women. What they do to women, oh God. You heard the testimonies. You heard this woman, my young child and I. Then you see Connie, what I go through is the same thing I go through, Connie go through. You should hear what Connie says. In every ways, they've been humiliated. So trained, I'm going to be trained in this disgusting, like this torturous way. They've been trained to know better. If you want to live the life that you're living, if you want to fill that void, better be trained to not say certain things. Better be trained to not say Roy Moore. Yes, that man that picked up kids as young as 14. You say it in a special way. Train correctly. Train that these pedophiles are running the show. It's their fucking world. Train to know that you gotta work for these people. These people have pedophilia issues, and you're gonna do this pedophilia type of torture. Train right. Groomed right. Yes, you involved in a program where, by the way, I heard somebody say you rape people. Listen to what they're involved in. And she's a child talking like that, or somebody who sounds like childlike. She's being groomed to be involved in this.
It's already being used. I mean, if you talk to the victims, the TIs, one of the worst breakdowns, and it's pretty common.
He says pretty common. Here was pretty common.
I think I can say the word simulated rape. In forced orgasm.
You can say anything you want. This is the internet.
Okay. And so simulated orgasms and rape is extremely common, and especially violating for women. They complain about that towards rape is extremely common, and
You heard that? Rape is extremely common. It's funny because they try to make me hear like he said rapers. Like it's extremely common. Rape is extremely common, especially
violating for women. They complain about that torture breakdown the most.
You understand what this trash are being groomed to be involved in? So when I see them, whatever tonality they want to create when they interact with me, oh no, you pay me, I pay me. It's like, I'll look at you like, you piece of fucking shit. I know you torture children. I know what you guys do to kids. And I know you guys are a bunch of fucking low-life trash using rape as a tool to break them down. Men, women, and children. Men, women. Children are sexually tortured. And when I see this low life, I see them for that. I don't care. They're being groomed to do this. This is the future of this. When they play, okay, don't please do that over there. Please do that because I'm listening to this right now. I'm listening to this and I'm going to listen to what women are complaining about. If you think this is just something I think is a fantasy, is a false reality, please, you're going to make a mistake big time. Please don't do that. I connect you with what he just said. And I know what you guys really are. As much as you try to create this fantasy of what this is about. To our target individuals, stay strong and see this low life where they are. They've been trained to. They've been trained to respect these pedophiles. They've been trained to create this first facade to block out what they're really part of. They've been trained to escape from reality. They've been trained to manipulate us in these disgusting ways. And they've been grooming this low life in these nasty ways. Where they want you to forget what they're really part of, what they do to even women and children. To all my target, they should stay strong.